I'm Sean Soho.
My name is Alex Donaldson. I play lead guitar. He sings. He failed to mention that.
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me outside here in Silver Spring, Maryland. We were just talking about your lovely touring vehicle. What details can you share with us about this? I think it's interesting.
Okay, while both of us are wildly underqualified to explain what's going on, essentially this is our rhythm guitarist Tony Pizzo's pet project that he's been working on for I think about 2 years now, but don't quote me on that, I'm wrong on everything. And he's working on making this run on green energy. The first step is to start making it run as like a hybrid electric, kind of like a Prius, which would use gas until it gets up to speed, and then it would start converting electrical energy in a technical way that I'm not qualified to explain. And then the next phase of the plan is to convert it to start using hydrogen energy made from seawater, which is well, you can't see it, but there's a bucket on the front of the vehicle that he has outfitted to start separating hydrogen and oxygen. And I'm going to stop explaining it because that's the end of my But it's really cool.
I think people are starting to like see it coming though and know.
Well, you know, everybody asks about it. He's got all sorts of things tricked out on the inside that you know we'll show at a later date because right now it's all gutted and all the wires are exposed because it's still a work in progress. He's calling this like the 1.0 version, the test dummy. And eventually there's going to be a brand new one where we're getting all the problems out on this one, and then we're going to start with a new one.
But you guys could do like a whole video series explaining that.
We're actually working on that while we're out on the road. We're going to be filming him. He has a couple videos up right now. If you go to our website, crashmidnight.com, it's the lead story on there where you can go and it's because it's a tax deductible 501c3, yeah, right? C3, 3C. You can make donations to it, and he's using the entire thing. It's non-proprietary, so everything that he's doing is not for profit. It's to show the world like that this is this easy to do. The most expensive parts of converting it to hydrogen, I guess, are like the freaking Home Depot bucket he has over there. So
that's not expensive.
Yes, which is not expensive. He's basically trying to call out, you know, the big industry, big trucking industry, and be like, look, if I could do this for like 20 bucks, you know, there's no excuse to not start helping the environment.
Absolutely.
There's our pitch.
So, speaking of big news for you guys, the album Lost in the City is due out in November, correct?
Yes, it's got a November 18th release date. We are super excited about it, and you can actually pre-order it on crashmidnight.com right now. And when you pre-order, you'll get 2 MP3s, our lead single 151, and a previously unreleased single called Take It that's up there right now. So all the fans can grab that early, and then the minute it's released, you will have access to download the whole album.
Nice. I was going to talk about 151 a little bit, how the Ode to My Poison get created.
Yeah. Alex, you want to handle a little bit of this?
Oh, no, you know that one's for you.
Okay, all right.
Because you wrote it.
All right, so so when we first started this band, we're just kind of, you know, screwing around playing songs and stuff. And one night, I think we were really drunk and we were listening to Night Train by Guns N' Roses. We started like kind of screwing around, like, you know, writing alternate words because we were drinking 151 that night like idiots. And we're like, oh man, we're drinking like so much harder stuff. So we wrote like new lyrics for it. And everybody like loved that song, so we played at parties and shit like that, and then it just got more and more popular, and we're like, all right, well, I guess we should maybe make this into a real song. So we went back to the drawing board, ripped it apart, and recreated it, and it's basically all about the 3 years or so where we bought almost nothing but 151 because we didn't have a dime.
We took years off of our life.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We found a place that sold it for 16 bucks. It wasn't even Bacardi 151. It was like Roberto.
There's generic 151.
It's even worse than that.
We want a sponsorship, Roberto. We're calling them out right now.
I think they're made in Massachusetts or they're distributed. Yeah. So that was what we would do. We found out for $16.99 we could get the whole band drunk and destroy our livers.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely an interesting story about where that came from. But
right.
It was really about an economic, movement for us. I think.
Right.
Absolutely. So can you talk, I know like one of your songs is being used for some sports teams up in New England. How did that come about?
All right, so this song was actually another one of our very early songs. It used to be called Nothing to Lose, and it was just kind of a trite title, so we didn't even consider it for the album.
Right.
And then we got approached by a couple of different sports teams in there, just hearing about us and liking some of our other songs and asking us, hey, do you guys have anything that would be good for us? And Nothing to Lose is based about the whole, like, fuck you attitude of Boston, where, well, I don't know what we could say or not. We could bleep stuff. But yeah, Boston is like it's a very unique place.
People from Boston like Boston.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best
well,
way
here's the way that I put it is it's like if you have a sibling you won't let your sibling get away with anything, but the minute somebody fucks with your sibling, they rally around like wild. And the same thing that happened with like the marathon bombings. I mean, guys in Boston will walk past each other and give each other the stink eye left and right, but the minute somebody screws with our town, we shut the city down and everybody comes together and we go find your ass. So that's the whole song in a nutshell. It's just the attitude.
It's a rock and roll spirit up in Boston. I mean, you definitely hear of a lot of bands like starting out there. I think that it's a good city for rock and roll.
It really is. The
What
whole
he didn't
attitude.
mention, and that song is being played in Foxborough Stadium for the New England Patriots.
Oh yeah, and by the way, that's happening. And Boston College football is using it. The Bruins had it a couple seasons ago. They played it during the playoffs. So
Everybody but the Sox.
yeah, everybody but the Sox, Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Hey,
Hey, we got to work on that.
well, let's get them involved here.
So, I mean, what can you share with me about the recording process for the album overall? Is there maybe one or two tracks in particular you can tell me what the mindset was like in the studio?
Well, the mindset, it was blurred
And belligerent. It was the two
Yeah.
B's.
No, the recording process went really smoothly. I mean, we've been playing these songs for years. We had a great setup engineer, Kenny Lewis. He had a fantastic sounding amp. I put the most generic mic in front of my amp, put a guitar in, everything pretty much 1 or 2 takes. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I
it was
love the
really
album.
cool.
I love
I
the
kind of
guitar.
gone back to this description a bunch of times, so it's in interviews everywhere. But this is kind of like a greatest hits album for Crash Midnight. We've been around long enough that the kind of fat has been trimmed from everything, and these are the songs that have done the best over the years. We put them all together, and we're really, really proud of this album. And I think if you like one song on it, you're gonna like them all.
Is there one song in particular you would say defines the album?
That's a good question.
One song particularly, man, wow, she's
I think-
asking real questions. I'm used to what's the craziest thing that happened? One song, okay, give me a second.
I would say Diamond Boulevard really defines the spirit of this album. Diamond Boulevard is
Glad you said that. I like that one. So.
it's
awesome.
It's about the music industry. It's really about, as soon as we started getting some momentum here, we had people coming out of the woodwork just trying to sign us to deals, trying to get us back to all kinds of crazy contracts.
To navigate. I mean, it's got to be difficult because, I guess the dollar signs can come up and it can sound exciting.
It's everybody has a hustle and a story, and I compare it to, we have a lot of friends that are in the modeling industry or trying to be up and coming models and that stuff, and it's very similar because these girls they'll bring you out, parade you around, and tell you they're going to make you a star, and then it turns out this is just some guy trying to take them to bed or something. And that's actually what a lot of them were trying to do with us too. So it was
Take us to bed, yeah.
well, no, they were trying to fuck us, but it was
That's what I said.
Anyway, yeah, so that's basically what Diamond Boulevard's about. It's, and it's also kind of a tongue-in-cheek play on words of, a lot of times, he's from Columbus, Ohio. They weren't right there with us all the time, all of his friends from back there. When we'd go out there, they thought we were superstars and all this stuff.
I was up rich.
Yeah, they thought we were...
You give me $5?
Yeah, they thought we were printing money, and we're like, man, it's just not like that. You gotta see our day-to-day Roberto intake of 151.
We can't find
Yeah, so it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing of everybody thinking we were on Easy Street and had it
The
made.
guitar solo is fucking amazing.
Yes. Yeah, you will never hear a better fan of Alex than Alex.
I'm just joking.
So, I mean, speaking of changes in the music industry, there's been so many of them over the years, and obviously with you guys being up and coming and everything, which one's probably had the biggest effect on you?
Changes in the music industry?
Well, I would say, the lack of album sales, you obviously have to account for money otherwise, like touring, merchandising, publishing, getting your commercials and placements and stuff, all that fun stuff. The revenues are there. You just have to find the find the revenue stream, I guess.
Landscape's changed too. There's so many bands out there now. There's such an ease to being able to record. Everybody can do it in their bedroom. That way more bands have way more material out there, and for people to listen to, and it's difficult to overcome that white noise sometimes.
And but thinking about it in a positive light, I just feel fortunate that with all of that noise, that our label and stuff has enough faith in us to actually put something out there, because it's hard to get even a label behind you these days. I just feel fortunate for that at this point.
Absolutely. Do you think there's more pressure now for bands to have to get things out quicker? I feel like, they'll do a full-length album, but it's the EP's got to be out immediately.
The speed is a big thing, and then also you have zero margin for error. It's not like, you can come out with 1 or 2 or 3 albums and then hit your stride by the 4th. It's one and done.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's just one and done on this stuff.
Have a good day.
I know. We've been very lucky with the sound of this this band has just really connected with a wide range of people. Everybody from, the program directors at radio stations who maybe grew up on 60s, 70s, 80s influences that we have, or just the young kids that see us drinking way too much Roberto and think that that's cool too. So, you know, and I think we connect, we speak to like a lot of things that people are interested in, or stuff that at least sticks out. It's not generic rock. It's not something that we wrote to try to sell albums. It's very personal.
Like it or not, it's at least hopefully unique than what you hear on Active Rock Radio. You might not like it, but hopefully it stands out. Or it might not. I don't know.
I feel like so much of what we hear is cookie cutter now.
Sure.
It's like the same thing. It's like rinse, wash, repeat, like other single, and like it is very refreshing to hear something different.
Thank
Sure.
you. Yeah, it was
Whether or
important to
not
us.
you like it, at least
Yeah, it was important to us to write songs, like not write songs that are like, you know, how fast can you get to a chorus, or how wide of a net can you cast to bring in everybody and talk about pickup trucks and beer and that, you know, although we talk about liquor. But
Yeah,
we
not
want
beer.
to, yeah, but no, I want to make that distinction. No, but it's very important to us to tell every single song that we have is based on something that actually happened to the band, not something we created in some freaking marketing department on, you know, what appeals to this demo or something, you know. And it's really cool, and it comes out on stage. Is every time we play this stuff, he and I and everybody that's in this band are thinking about, you know, what was going on when we wrote that song, you know, and it brings us back, and it's very easy to convey all that energy, and we start laughing on stage, you know, depending on what stupid ass thing that was based off of.
How drunk we are.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, so I think that connects with people too.
Are you ever surprised by which songs fans tend to gravitate towards? That you're in the studio, you're like, yeah, this one's gonna be the single, you know, and then they're like, nope, that one.
Yes,
Like-
yeah, you know, because we actually just played a hometown show at the Boston House of Blues yesterday, and I heard more people singing along, well, to Welcome to Boston than, you know, any of our other songs. And that really surprised me, because I really did not think that song was available. Like, is it on YouTube or something?
It's on
I didn't
iTunes.
know.
We only wake you up for the important meetings though. So. Oh, actually, can we bring our rhythm guitarist here, Tony, to
Hi, it's happening.
talk a little bit about this? I tried to do the best I could, but I didn't get much.
Basically,
Give me
I'm a
the elevator
Jedi.
pitch. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yep, and that's it.
I'm a Jedi.
Also Batman.
We got here on time. Well,
Somewhat.
Somewhat on time. We're all
came in
set.
here
We're all good.
On time-ish, good. All right, we're loaded in, which is always good for us to hear. Yeah, this is the second show. We're still kind of, you know, getting our sea legs here. We just got off tour with Seven Dust, but we were doing that in a van, and yeah, we did do that. We should mention that. Yeah, we just got off that tour, but it was a completely different thing. You know, it's totally different driving in a vehicle that can't make it under bridges.
Seven Deaths, they were awesome people. Their crew was awesome. That was so much fun.
Yeah, those
So
guys
these
are great.
people, you know, these crews are great. You know?
Yeah, actually, if we can talk real quick and like circumnavigate another question of how we like
All right.
the guys we're playing with here, but Pretty Reckless is one of the biggest bands that I like right now. It's and I don't connect with a lot of bands out there these days because it is like you said, very cookie cutter. But these guys are fantastic, and they really you know, it's a set that we enjoy watching. It's not like something you're like, let me go grab a beer or something. And we love them. And Adelita's Way kicked our ass yesterday. That was the first time we got to see them live. And
Fantastic. I've been a fan
yeah.
of them for a long
Rick
time.
is incredible.
Yeah, they're just and great guys too. Like really, really easy to work with, and we're sharing a green room with them right now. So we're gonna have drinking contests later. And you'll see who wins on stage, and
Nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
I don't know. I was gonna say that could be an interesting battle. I know those guys, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's we're always up for a challenge, I guess.
Yeah, we'll take the physical challenge.
Yeah.
So touring for you guys after this, what's next for the rest of the year? What takes you through the holidays?
Well, it takes us through December. No, not December. November 8th is our last show on this tour, so that's pretty much taking us through most of the fall. Depending on what happens as we get going here, we may try to fit in a couple things. We're obviously going to have a CD release on the 18th, so probably some Boston stuff with that. That's still in the works, getting planned. And then, fuck that, man. I'm taking December off.
Me too.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss Happy New Year after that,
Yeah, Happy
and
New
kind
Year.
of see what's up for the winter and the spring. Touring in the winter's
I hate
tough.
cold weather.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me. The buzz is definitely really high around the band. I was talking to a friend of mine before the interview, and he's like, they're fantastic. Like, there's just been so much buzz circulating online, so awesome.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.